is what the markets look like. On Friday, we had a very decent 0.68% to wrap up the stock market last week. And as you may have heard earlier on the program, the banking and insurance sector were in the water, while the industrial goods, consumer goods, and oil and gas made the headlines, save the day or the trading week, as it were. Those are the secondary data numbers for the market. As you've seen, we're just still holding our head above the 43,000 level, and the equity capitalization by 15.508 trillion naira. Go to the primary indicators, and you can see the numbers not spectacularly for the week we just finished, but of course we can take that off as investors took some profit off the market, looking at the earnings season that is going to come pretty soon. So if you take that away and look at the core numbers, industrial goods was a massive 39.34%, as you heard, with the numbers coming in from Nestle and Nascon, the food company on one hand, and Nascon, a very salt giant in our domestic market. Oil and gas was nearly 20% because investors were still positive on the numbers from Seplat and a few other bellwethers in that space. Then you have the consumer goods, which is 16.71%, banking and insurance. Those cousins saw some beating last week. But if you go straight to the oil and gas, where some of the stories will start this week, we're going to have the sentiments around Seplat taper off as we move on into the current week, as we see more earnings from other listed energy traders coming. You've heard the news already from Owando. There will be a delay in their 2017 numbers, most likely to the second week of May. So we're looking at another 30 days thereabout, as the Nigeria Financial Reporting Council, the FRC, says they're interested in Owando's numbers, and they're using some toothpick to go through the earnings, as well as the boot on the ground by the SEC's team of investigators looking into the technical suspension of Owando. That is on one side. Forty Oil shaved about 1.79% on Friday at 44. When will this integrated energy trader report? Is anybody's guess, but we expect that to come in as soon as the banks are also reporting. Flip that and look at Total, down by 0.25%. Eternal Oil saw some profit taking, a massive 4.86% on Friday. Japol now heading towards 100 kobo, or 1 naira per share, on the back of that very heavy transaction on Friday, 11.05 million shares. That was a very decent week there for that particular stock, coming all the way from around 30 kobo per share. Coming up on the program to give us about a minute or two about how today's and the week's current trading week will look like is Rotimi Fakayejo from Enterprise Stockbrokers. Rotimi, good morning. It's good to have you on the program. Hope you had a very nice weekend.
Yes, I did. Good morning.
Yes, and we hope you are getting ready for the land use tax and all the land use charge and taxes in Lagos. But meantime, what's your reading of this news all over about MTN saying he's ready for his IPO in Nigeria, about $500 million US?
Well, I believe the market has been long awaiting this, but I only think of the opinion that whether now is the right time for it. There was a time that if they had come, it would have been well oversubscribed. But this time around now, I think with the feel of the market, I don't really know how it will go. But there are a lot of optimistic investors waiting for the offer.
Let us weigh that a little bit for a minute. How do you mean the state of the market right now? Is it local investor sentiment? From all indications, from the word on the street, MTN would most likely sell to big institutional and deep pocket individual investors.
Well, if you recall also, since the time they had a problem with NCC, it definitely impaired on their profitability. And that definitely is what a lot of PSAs, if they are not already in it, is one of the considerations that they will give if they are going to put their money in it at all. So the continuous stream of dividend income is very important to the institutional investors and the PSAs. So that also may be one of the worries at this time. But I believe that there might be some waivers, and maybe with this money they might be able to get out of the issue that they had with NCC in terms of paying back the money since they have decided to put it to prorate it over years. So I think, well, the market is waiting for it. We really expect a thing like this in order for the market to be better disciplined.
Okay. Rotimi, just leave it there for today. Rotimi Fakayejo from Enterprise Stockbrokers. It's still early days, and this conversation will, of course, be on the front burner as we get close to June and July when this IPO is expected to open. It's a very big one. Of course, MTN Group last week reported a very better, what you call a return to profit, reporting from its headquarters in South Africa, and also declaring a cash dividend of about 450 South African cents for the 2017 financial year. All this will be part of the conversation in the days and weeks ahead. You don't want to miss that. And you know where to find us on social media, at Channels TV, at Biz Morning, or at B Boson. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.